Wu Zetian entered the Tang Palace at just 14 as a concubine of Emperor Taizong. At the time, she held a low rank and drew little attention. But one person did notice her, Li Ji, Taizong's son and future Emperor Gaozong. He was captivated by her intelligence and charm. When Emperor Taizong died in 649, Wu, having no children, was sent to a Buddhist convent as required by law. But Gaozong never forgot her. After becoming emperor, he began secretly visiting her at the temple. Eventually, after she gave birth to his son, he brought her back to the palace as his own concubine, a shocking move, considering she had once belonged to his father. At the time, Emperor Gaozong already had an empress, Lady Wang, and another favored consort, Consort Shao. As Wu re-entered court life, she quickly became entangled in fierce rivalry. At first, she appeared to side with Empress Wang, but that was only a facade. Soon after, Wu's newborn daughter mysteriously died, strangled by Wu herself to accuse Empress Wang of murder. The scandal led to both Empress Wang and Consort Shao being deposed and imprisoned. According to chilling historical records, Wu later had their limbs amputated and left them submerged alive in vats of wine until they died in agony. With her rivals eliminated, Wu became empress. She deposed the existing crown prince and installed her own young son as heir, securing her grip on power. As Emperor Gaozong's health declined, Wu began to govern in his place. By the age of 37, Wu held the real power in the empire, and under her leadership, the Tang dynasty entered a golden age. But even in the height of her power, threats loomed, especially from her own sons. She had 4 sons with Emperor Gaozong. Her eldest, a scholarly and mild-mannered prince, was named Crown Prince but later opposed her growing interference in state affairs. At age 23, he died. Many believe he was poisoned on her orders. Her second son succeeded him but was deposed within 5 years, accused of plotting rebellion. He died in exile, possibly assassinated. After Emperor Gaozong's death, her third son briefly became emperor, but Wu deposed him within 2 months. Her youngest son ascended next, but under her strict regency and constant surveillance, he ruled as a puppet for 6 years. Finally, in 690, Wu declared herself emperor, abolished the Tang dynasty, and established a new dynasty, the Zhou. She became the only woman in Chinese history to officially rule as emperor in her own right. Opinions on her reign are sharply divided. Some see her as a ruthless and power-hungry tyrant. Others view her as a visionary who broke through patriarchal barriers and redefined leadership. In her later years, Wu began selecting handsome young men to serve in a kind of male harem, believing intimacy with them would restore her youth. Among them were the Zhang brothers, Zhang Yizhi and Zhang Changzong, who became both her lovers and political confidants. Their influence grew so great that they began interfering with court affairs. By 705, frustrated ministers launched a coup, using Wu's 2 surviving sons to force her abdication. Her third son, Li Xian, known as Emperor Zhongzong, was restored to the throne and revived the Tang dynasty. But 5 years later, in 710, he died under mysterious circumstances. Wu's 4th son, Li Dan, then took the throne and soon passed it on to his son, Li Longji, later known as Emperor Xuanzong. Wu Zetian lived quietly in the palace after her abdication and died in the same year, 705, at the age of 82. She was buried alongside Emperor Gaozong in the Qianling Mausoleum. In front of her tomb stands a towering, 26.25-foot-tall stele, famously blank. Known as the wordless stele, it's said to symbolize that her legacy would be judged by future generations. Wu Zetian was a woman who rose to absolute power, even if it meant sacrificing her children. She was cunning, fierce, and determined to survive in a world built to shut women out. Her story remains one of the most dramatic and controversial in all of Chinese history.